Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mahogany, and if you are wondering, we are making these super moist banana bread muffins. Of course, I can't get into this video without giving credit to my girl over at Divas Can Cook. This is her channel, this is her recipe. I love this recipe so much, but she also has some other amazing recipes on her channel as well, so don't forget to head over and check her out. We're gonna start by preheating our oven to 350 degrees. While the oven is preheating, I'm going to go ahead and line our cupcake pan with some cupcake liners. And yes, y'all, I promise this pan is clean. We all have one of these pans. Don't act like you don't have it. I know you do. But I'm using these beautiful cupcake liners. They are gold, and I feel like they fit perfectly with the muffins that we are doing today. So I did decide to half the recipe. Instead of making 24 muffins, I am going to do 12. So it's the perfect amount for me and my family, but feel free to do the full recipe. So I'm going in with half a cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going in with a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then I'm going in with 4 tablespoons of softened butter. Now, she does say to use a pastry cutter to go ahead and combine all of these ingredients to create the crumble, but y'all know in my house we work with what we have, and that's the love with cooking. Don't I tell y'all that all the time? So I'm using a fork to create the crumbles. It will definitely take a little bit of elbow grease, but it's not impossible to do. You just really want to take your time and work in all of those ingredients, combine them all together, and make sure that you're just taking your time. There's no rush for this recipe. So once that's all combined, I am going to sit it in the freezer until we're ready to use it. Now we're going to move on to the muffin batter, and this actually does not require as much work as you would think. And when I tell you these muffins come out so good, they come out amazing. So I'm going in with half a cup of granulated white sugar, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and 4 tablespoons of softened butter. You're just going to take your time and combine all of those ingredients together. Now it will look like still a bit of a crumble, but that's okay. This batter will come together perfectly. Just watch. Once this is all combined, we're going to add in 1 whole egg. Be careful not to drop any shells in there. If you do, just take them out. And then I'm going in with half a teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to go ahead and give that a good blend as well, just to make sure that that egg is broken down completely in the mixture and that that vanilla has a chance to really spread throughout this mixture. Now, just to make sure everything is combined properly, I am going to go in with this soft spatula and just scrape down the bottom of my bowl, or not the bottom, I'm sorry, the sides of my bowl, to make sure all of our ingredients are well combined. And then we're going to move on to adding in our dry ingredients. Now that that is all done, we're going to move that off to the side and start working on sifting together our dry ingredients. So I'm just going to place my sifter inside the bowl, and then I'm going to add in a cup of all-purpose flour along with half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and then I'm going to go in with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt along with a half tablespoon of some cinnamon. And then I'm just going to make sure that it's sifted together. And look at this. This is why you want to sift it. I had some pieces of cinnamon that were hard as a rock. So now we're going to add in 1/4 cup of buttermilk, but this is the thing, okay? You slowly want to add in a little of the dry ingredients along with a little of the buttermilk. And you just want to keep going back and forth with those two things until it is fully combined. But please listen to this part. Do not overwork your batter. If you get aggressive with it, if you overmix it, it will create a dry muffin, and that's the last thing you want. I know it looks like I'm being aggressive, but look right here. I'm slowly incorporating that mixture together. Take your time with it, there's no rush. Once that is all done, we're gonna move on to the best part of this entire thing, and that is the bananas. So I'm just gonna peel my 2 very ripe bananas. Now my bananas are pretty small, so that's why I'm going in with 2 of them, but The recipe does call for 3 whole mashed bananas. So I'm just gonna mash those together, and you can definitely get the kids in and help with this part if you wanted to. And I'm gonna squeeze in just a tiny bit of lemon juice. I'm talking about like half a teaspoon, not much at all, just so that those bananas don't brown up on you. And I'm going to add that into the mixture that we created earlier. And just like before, I'm going to take my time and slowly fold it into my mixture. Do not over mix, please. If you overmix, like I said before, you'll get that dry muffin that nobody likes. And now it's time to add the mixture to our cupcake pan, and I'm just going to use a measuring cup to help me add it into it. I think this is about a 1/3 cup, so that's about how much I'm going in with the batter. If it gets along the edges of your pan, don't worry about it, just wipe it off. And then I'm also going to add the crumble right on top immediately after I finish adding all of the mixture to the cupcake liners. So for my crumble, I am going to use a teaspoon just to help me lay the crumble right on top of my muffins. And I like a lot of crumble on mine, so I am adding a little bit extra, but it's definitely a personal preference. The more crumble, the better. That's how I operate, but it's definitely up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up. Once it's all done, we're going to take that pan and we're going to stick it right into the oven. That oven has been preheating the entire time, so it should be done. And now I'm just going to set my timer for 18 minutes. You want to try to get these spot on. It says to cook them for 20 minutes. I always do 18 because I like for them to still have a little bit of residual heat left over to help finish out the cooking process. But at 18 minutes, they are perfect. They are perfectly done. Now we're just going to let these cool down on top of a baking rack before I store them away. But I just want to say that me and my family absolutely love this recipe. I promise I have not had anything better than this one. So I highly recommend it. And again, this recipe is from my girl over at Divas Can Cook. I absolutely love all of her baking recipes. So if you have a second, check her out. And that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.